Hello again, everybody. It is July 15th, 2021, and it's time for another episode of AMA Air. Coming up today, we've got a sneak peek at the National Fun Fly with our Executive Vice President, Randy Cameron, joining us on the show.
And Jay Smith also joins us and gives us a sneak peek on the new issue of Model Aviation.
And Tyler Dobbs, our Government Affairs Director, is going to join us to give us some updates on night operations, CBO recognition, sanctioned events, and more. All that coming up today on AMA Air. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of AMA Air. My name is Matt Ruddick, and over here, we got Mr. Lee Ray. Hello, Lee.
And somewhere over there is Matt Ruddick.
Hey! How are things going on for you over there, Lee?
It's going pretty good. A little hot, a little humid down here in Texas. How is it in Muncie?
You know what? It's not bad. We've had some rain recently, but it's a little humid, but it's not bad. Weather's picking up, which is good because we got a lot of stuff going on up here over the next couple of weeks. So I'm hoping that the good weather is coming in to stay. But I know you got some trips coming up. We're going to talk a little bit about that later. About you're going up to AirVenture. But before we get to that, we're going to talk a little bit about the National Fun Fly. We've been talking about it a little bit over the last couple of months, but we're going to give you a little sneak peek because it's coming up in just a couple of weeks. To help us do that, we've got a very special guest lined up for us today. He is our Executive Vice President here at the AMA. He's also the contest director for the National Fun Fly coming up in just 2 weeks from tomorrow. That's July 30th, 31st, and August 1st. Mr. Randy Cameron is joining us today. Hello, Randy. Thank you so much for joining us today on AMA Air.
Hey, Matt and Lee. I appreciate you guys having me on here. I'm really excited about the Fun Fly coming up.
Absolutely. So let's jump right in. For folks that may not be familiar with what the Fun Fly is, I know this, I think, is only the second year that it's been around. So why don't you tell folks a little bit about what the National Fun Fly is?
Well, the National Fun Fly is an event for all members, and they can fly whatever they want. And one of the main reasons for doing the Fun Fly was we needed a venue to have our annual membership meeting at. So we felt the Fun Fly would be a great thing to do with it. And
we haven't said this yet, but where is the Fun Fly?
Oh, at the Muncie IAC, the International Aeromodeling Center.
There you go. Yeah. So this beautiful place. I will tell you, I was just there just last month for Camp AMA. Wow, what an amazing facility.
It is great.
Yeah, and the great thing is we've got so much room. We've got tons of room for activities here at the IAC. And what's great is that means just people can fly just about anything they want at the National Fun Fly, right, Randy?
Absolutely. Fly anything. Control line, free flight, jets, doesn't matter. Bring whatever you want to fly and have fun. That's what it's all about.
I'm going to jump in real quick for those of you who are coming who haven't been there. There is a really good flying tour video that we have. You can go to modelaircraft.org that takes you a tour of IAC. And I'm curious, Randy, how many sites will y'all be at?
We have the entire facility, so we can do whatever we want. We can do control line, no issues, and we should have some space for free flight and any of the other venues that want to be there.
That's awesome.
It is going to be an amazing time. I'm going to be there, so if you guys are going to come hang out, be sure to stop over and say hello. I'll be out there. I'm sure taking some photographs of the activities going on. Guys, if you want to learn more about the National Fun Fly, and specifically if you want to register to come and be a participant, head over to modelaircraft.org/funfly. There's going to be stuff for families and all sorts of things going on. There's going to be a raffle, which I know a lot of folks are going to be pretty excited about. Randy, why don't you tell us about some of the awesome sponsors that have donated some prizes for that raffle?
Well, of course, AJ Aircraft, Horizon Hobbies, and Hobby King, and the Toledo RC Swap Meet, which is actually Hank's Hobbies, I believe, and JR Pro, and District 6 has bought a couple airplanes to donate to it as well. and I think we're going to have a great raffle.
Wow.
I've had the pleasure of seeing some of the prizes that are going to be in the raffle, and you guys are not going to be disappointed. There's some real great stuff in there.
Hey, Randy, you might want to count them again, because if Matt's been, looking at them, make sure there's no 5-finger discount.
Yeah. Erin told me she had them under lock and key. So
good.
Well, she does. The problem is I have a key. So.
Well, just make sure the repackage right.
That's right. I only have the key so that I could take some pictures for social media, which Lee has been graciously posting over the last couple of months. So I left them all there. I promise you guys will have all that for the raffle. It's going to be such a great time. And as you also mentioned, Randy, one of the key things happening that weekend is our annual membership meeting. Why don't you tell folks a little bit about that?
Well, the membership meeting will have. I hope all the district vice presidents there that, if your district rep is there, you'll be able to talk with them and they'll all have a little bit to say. And then probably some government relations and some other information that's pertinent to our members should come out. It'll also be streamed live for people that can't be on site. But nice. I'd like you to be on site.
Yeah, if you can be there, I would encourage you to do so. But yes, if you can't be there, Lee's not going to be able to be there. He's going to be somewhere else that we'll talk about in just a second.
No, I'm going to say, yeah, I won't be there, unfortunately, because we're running the affiliate Fun Fly in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. So there's going to be a team of AMA members who unfortunately can't fly with you that day, Randy. But on Friday, we're going to do our little fly, we'll bow down and point that direction to Muncie and say, this is for you guys, and hopefully we'll have a lot of people come out there and fly with us, and we'll just we'll share photos of the Fun Fly with you guys.
Great, sounds good.
And it's going to be a great time, and yeah, as we mentioned, we're going to live stream that membership meeting for folks that can't attend. If you on the Saturday, so it'll be Saturday, July 31st at 5 p.m. Eastern. At modelaircraft.org/funfly, we're going to have a live stream there of the membership meeting. Of course, if you can't watch it live, if you've got stuff going on, you'll be able to watch it after the fact as well. But it's going to be a great opportunity for folks to participate and listen to that membership meeting if they can't be there. But we'd love it for you guys to come join us at the National Fun Fly. Again, that's going to be July 30th, 31st, and August 1st at the International Air Modeling Center in Muncie, Indiana. And if you want to register to come visit the Fun Fly, you can go to modelaircraft.org/funfly. It's also important to add, Randy, you can register at the event, correct?
Right. They can come find me. I'm going to be under a blue AMA Easy Up type tent, and there should be a cluster of 4 tents, but only one of them's AMA logoed, and that'll be mine. And that's where you can come in and sign up and get into the action.
I'm going to do a shout out for Mean Joe. He just said he'll be there. So you're already covered for photography. So good. I feel better.
Great. So, looking forward to seeing you, Joe.
Wait a second.
Well, hopefully you're going to be flying, right, Matt? You're going to participate.
That's true. I may try to get a couple flights up.
I'll call Joe and say, go get Matt. You don't get much of your stuff flying.
Exactly. Well, Randy, thank you so much for joining us today on AMA Air. I'm sure you're looking forward to that event as much as I am, and I'm sure there are a lot of folks who are already registered, excited to go, and it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a fun weekend, so we're all looking forward to it.
I might also mention that we'll feed you after the membership meeting, so if you guys like pizza, come on out.
All right.
I'm holding you to that. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Randy, for taking some time out of your day, and we will see you here in a couple of weeks.
Yep, looking forward to it.
All right, take care. Now, Lee, like we mentioned, you're not going to be able to join us at the Fun Fly because you're going to be somewhere else. Why don't you tell folks a little bit about where you're going to be?
I'm sure I've mentioned this over and over again. People are tired of it, but I'm going to AirVenture. You know what? I could take the rest of the show. I'm not going to do that. I'll be brief, but AirVenture is coming up, folks, in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. If you're not familiar with it, go up to EAA.org and /AirVenture, and you can read all about it. It's a spectacular event for those who love aviation. It's not just warbirds; it's a lot of private pilot aircraft. I mean, but you know what? It's more than that. I think I heard when I went in 2017, 1 million people passed through the gates at Oshkosh, and that's just amazing. So it's a really cool event. I'm bringing my family around this time, but I'm also joining forces with several AMA employees. We're running several booths, locations, and so you can find us out there. I'm going to be at the Blue Barn. I'll be at the RC flying event at the EAA Museum. I'll be at the trailer, which you're looking at right now. There's a trailer that'll be near the ultralight barn. And that's a photo I took in 2017 when I hung out with those guys. And we'll also be doing UAS for STEM. And I'll be hanging out with my buddy Kyle Jarris for that project with a whole bunch of high schoolers. And I mean, that'll be awesome. I'll be there taking photos, doing some video. We're going to have a hashtag AMAAirVenture that I'll use for all our social media. So tune into our Facebook page and Instagram. I'll probably be doing a lot of photos on Instagram, so I encourage you to go there. But if you are there, if you are experiencing this wonderful aviation experience, I said that twice, but it's exciting. Please share your photos with us so we can tell everybody else what it's about. And hopefully, if you're not going this year, you'll make plans to go next year.
No, it is. I've been lucky enough to go once, and I had an absolute blast. It is one of those things that if you are even remotely an aviation enthusiast, and I know everybody watching this show today is, it's one of those can't miss. Like, you have to go at least once in your life. You have to go to Oshkosh to this event. And it's just one of, I'm pretty sure it's the biggest air show in the world. I was told that. I believe that. As you said, you said about 1 million people passed through the gates one year. I'm not surprised. Yeah. It was overwhelming was the word I think I used when I returned that year. It was just an amazing opportunity.
Well, Joe, Joe is chiming in again, so I'll come up with something else he wanted to point out here. It'll break records because last year COVID shut it down, and I don't know the stats of, if it was the first time AirVenture didn't take place. They usually have bad weather, but that doesn't stop people. It took COVID to shut down AirVenture. So yes, I expect a lot of people going because I believe Boeing is sponsoring all children under 16, I believe, are free. And I can't confirm that. I know children are free. I'm not sure what the age cutoff is, but if you go to EAA.org/AirVenture, you can go read that. So if you're thinking about doing it at the last minute and you've got like 20 kids, what a deal you can make saving for that. But,
I'm not going near that.
and you know what? And Matt, I don't think you heard this, but I'm just going to say this for my son's birthday, my youngest son's birthday. Surprised him with a gift, an awesome gift I think you'll love. You may know that he's a big Jimmy Doolittle fan. He's a big fan of that, that venture. So I got him a ride on Berlin Express while we're there at AirVenture. So I'm going to just wear the badge that says best dad ever, just to feel that good for a while. But yeah, my son and I will be riding on Berlin Express. So there are lots of things to do, including taking a flight out there.
Absolutely. And friend of the show, Scott Huff, how's it going, Scott? He chimed in. He said 18 and under is free, which that's huge.
Yeah. So we're taking advantage of that. So I won't see you here. I'll think of you in spirit. Again, I'll be doing my little nod towards Muncie. You give a little nod back to Oshkosh.
You mentioned rides out there. I know they usually have the Ford Tri-Motors going and doing rides in those as well. I got to take a ride in one. And that's an experience and a half. If you guys ever get that opportunity, take advantage of that. Took
one in Houston. Yeah. So that's neat. Yeah. If you can get on the airplanes, do it, my friends. Anyway, that's AirVenture. And like I said, we will be very busy on social media with both events. So just, subscribe, like, follow everything for the AMA social media pages. We'll be giving it out to you.
George chimed in, Young Eagles flights are free as well. That's something else, just a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for those kids. So be sure to go check that out. If you're heading up to AirVenture, be sure to do that. Let's switch gears a little bit because, we were talking about these events, but we also got some competitions going on here in Muncie, and we've gotten through about half of the Nats so far. We've got some more coming up starting next week. We're back up. We took a little bit of a break, but now we're back up on June the 20th. We're starting up with, July the 20th, rather. RC Aerobatics is going to be kicking off, as well as indoor free flight up in Pontiac, Michigan. So we're getting back in the swing of things here. And the best thing for you guys to do, if you want to keep up to date with all the news about the Nats, we have something called Nats News, and you can check that out at modelaircraft.org/Nats. We've got the schedules there. We've got blog posts every single day of the competition from some amazing authors that we have out on site at each event. It's
and we
really
also
great
have some
to
incredible
keep up.
photographers supplying us with work. Matt. So there's a lot of photos you see of Matt's that we're sharing on our social media page. So there's my shout out. I love you, Matt.
I would encourage you guys to check out and follow all of our social media channels during the Nats, because we try to put out a ton of content out there. Producer Dylan is out there shooting a lot of video as well and putting together some really great video packages for you guys to check out. And we're putting all that out on our social media throughout the whole Nats event. Again, July 20th, we're kicking back off with RC aerobatics. As we mentioned, indoor free flight is also starting on the 20th. Outdoor free flight is starting on July 25th. And then back into August, we have RC helicopter as well as soaring, which is one of my favorite events. I know it's near and dear to your heart as well, Lee. So we'll have lots of fun eye candy for that, I'm sure, as well. But again, head over to modelaircraft.org/Nats, subscribe to Nats News, and make sure you get all of those updates every single day, because there's a lot of great stuff there, and I think you all enjoy it. So the Nats are coming up. Let's move over to Model Aviation, because, Lee, there's some really cool stuff in Model Aviation coming up in the August issue. If you guys are a digital subscriber, you've already have access to that digital edition, but we're going to give you a little sneak preview, if that's okay, with a very special guest here on the show. We have executive editor of Model Aviation, Mr. Jay Smith, joining us. Hello, Jay. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing great. It's always great to come on the 15th and tell everybody about the great content that they can read if they're a digital subscriber, and obviously print subscribers will be able to see it in about 10 days. Yeah, right there.
I use it on my phone all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some really great stuff to talk about, Jay. Let's start with the cover, because we've got a really cool cover for the August issue. What are folks going to see here?
So the cover photo was taken at Top Gun this year, and this year's Top Gun was in tribute to Frank Tiano, who sadly passed away. And so we wanted to do a really in-depth article on the event. So in this issue, that will be the longest feature article, with just tons and tons of photos of all the, well, not all the aircraft, but a lot of the aircraft that participated in Top Gun. And if you've never been to Top Gun, it's a really neat event, because the scale aircraft are there. If you like scale, be it jets or prop-driven aircraft, there's just so much to see, and a lot of craftsmanship. And so it's always fun to do an article on the event and showcase all the pilots and the aircraft that attend that event. So that's kind of our lead story and the largest feature that we have. But we've got obviously a lot of other great content that's in that issue.
Quick shout out for David Hart. That's one of his covers. I know he does a lot of covers. David, he's been on our podcast, but that's some great work, and I'm sure there are a lot of pictures of his in this catalog, this magazine.
Yeah, he actually provided all the photos for the article, and he wrote the article.
Great.
So,
there you go.
Yes, but you're right. David does a great job with his photography, and we always enjoy working with him. When we have events in Florida, he's always happy to cover them for us. So definitely worth a shout out.
I love that cover shot. That's fantastic for sure. Well, let's jump into some other things we might find in this issue. I know that there's some really great stuff from one of our regular contributors, John Barnes, in this issue as well, right?
Yes, that's right. John authored 2 articles. 2 of the things that he's probably most interested in these days. The first one is an article, Remote Aerial Photography Platforms. And John goes really in depth about the experience that he's had with many different multi-rotors and gimbals and camera systems. And John really enjoys trying to capture video, air-to-air video. And so that's kind of the focus of this article, is his experiences with the equipment. And I'm sure both Matt and Lee, you probably recognize some of the multi-rotors in this article.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have like both of those. There are two aircraft there. But my oldest son is into this. And in fact, one of his favorite things to do is to be a chase plane. And so he has a little FPV racer, and I will tell him to tune in tomorrow and watch this, see if he talks about this some more. That'd be great.
Oh, yep,
look
Matt's
at
showing us one of his.
That's for a session, Matt? GoPro session?
It is. That is designed for a session. So that tells you how long ago this was built.
Hey, that's okay. My son has his
flies.
as a session. Yeah, that's it, man. They do good job. So that's a great. I'm going to look forward to reading that article and again tuning in to listen to him.
Well, and also John is also really involved in EDF jets, electric ducted fan jets, and so he has an review article for us in the issue as well on the Rafale, and he really enjoyed flying the model, and we obviously have a video to go along with it. So you can see that it's got a really neat paint scheme, and it really shows up really well in the air. So he was really excited to do this one for us, as he is with all of his reviews. So we're happy to share that, both the written article and a really good video.
Yeah, that sucker's got a lot of belly drag. A lot of arsenals on that aircraft. Must sound cool. Oh, that's really. Oh, look at that. He got creative. Yeah.
Well, here's the fun bit for everybody listening who's interested is that tomorrow on Model Aviation Live, the July issue of Model Aviation Live, or the July edition, I guess, at 3 p.m. Eastern, Jay, you're going to have John Barnes as your guest on the show to talk a little bit about both of those articles, as well as some other stuff that he's got going on. I'm really excited and looking forward to that. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what people can expect?
Well, John and I met through RC groups because both of us wrote for RC groups. This is before I came to work for AMA, and I've been at AMA for 13 years. So, we're going back 15, 16 years ago. I was writing for RC groups, and so was John, and that's how we met. And when I came to work for AMA, I told John, I said, I want to bring you with me. I want you to work with me on reviews and event coverage and stuff. So we've been working with him for many, many years. And he does great videos, has a lot of nice camera equipment, does a great job. So, but we've never had him on the show. So it'd be nice for people that appreciate his articles to get to, know him a little bit more beyond the articles and talk about some of his experiences. And I really want to delve into his experience with EDF jets and with multi-rotors, especially as for videography, because that's the two parts of this hobby right now that he's very passionate about. We're also going to talk about FPV goggles. He just got a new set of goggles, and he's tried many different brands of goggles. So I hope it'll be informative to people to go a little bit more in depth even than what you see in the magazine. And obviously people who join the show live, they can ask questions. So if they have questions as we go along, they can ask questions. And I also want to point out today on the show, Dogfight Apparel is tuning in, and tomorrow I will be wearing some Dogfight apparel. They were nice enough to send some Dogfight apparel that we're gonna show in Worth Closer Look in the magazine. And so I will be wearing Dogfight apparel tomorrow. So if you tune in and watch, you'll get to see some of the things that they sell.
Very cool. I'm looking forward to that as well. I do want to mention real quick. Mason Hutchison joined us in the chat as well to talk about. Said he really great cover photo for August. I completely agree. So I wanted to shout him out. It's always exciting to see Mason in the chat. So I wanted to make sure to mention that. Well, Jay, I'm really excited about the show tomorrow. Again, that's Model Aviation Live tomorrow, Friday, July the 16th at 3 p.m. Eastern. Head over to modelaviation.com/live. If you guys, like me, are really excited about these John Barnes articles coming up in the August issue, stay tuned because there's going to be some awesome stuff in that conversation, I'm sure. So be sure to tune in live for that. And, of course, if you can't tune in live, you can watch after the fact as well. So it's going to be exciting, Jay. I'm looking forward to the show. Best of luck to you, and we'll see you tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Great. Well, thanks for having me on the show, and I look forward to everybody joining tomorrow.
All right. Take care, Jay.
We'll be there.
Thanks.
Boy, there's a lot of stuff coming down the AMA pipeline.
Yes, there is. A lot of content.
A lot of content. Well, and speaking of more stuff, we made a post on our Facebook page about a survey we had put out. Actually, it was sent out about a month ago to a random list of members, just to get a general feel from the members of how the AMA is doing. And we got that report back, but we decided to go ahead and open up that survey to the rest of our members. And so you can get to that survey by going to modelaircraft.org/survey. We ask that you do that. And I could sit here and talk about the survey and how you feel about it, but you know what? Our buddy Chad Boudreau does a great job of doing that for me, and he already made this wonderful video. So I'll be quiet and let Chad take the show.
For more than 85 years, the Academy of Model Aeronautics has been proud to be part of this great hobby. But one thing is certain, we would not be here without you. After all, this is your organization, and we want to make certain that future generations of enthusiasts continue to find value in belonging to our AMA community. Now, to help us do that, we recently conducted a membership survey to hear your perspective on a wide range of topics, from what benefits you find most valuable to how we can better represent you and your passion for model aviation. Your opinions are essential as we seek to improve our organization and move into the future. Now, if you didn't receive a survey link, that's okay. We still want to hear from you. You can visit modelaircraft.org/survey to take the survey and have your voice heard. No matter if you're new to the AMA or if you've been a lifelong modeler, we want your ideas to help us shape the next 85 years of aero modeling.
Said, are you ready? Are you ready for IFlyAMA?
Are you ready, Matt?
Oh, I'm ready.
Bring it, buddy. Tell us your IFlyAMA fave.
Guys, thank you guys so much for joining us back here again. It's time for that part of the show where we talk about iflyAMA. If you guys aren't yet a member of the iflyAMA Facebook group, head over to not Model Aircraft. You go to facebook.com/groups/iflyAMA. There are a few questions in there. We really ask that you answer those questions. That helps us know that you're a real person and not some robot somewhere trying to do something nefarious anyway. But answer those questions. We'll let you into this amazing community of air modelers who are trying to share some amazing content with each other. And one of the best parts of my job is to share a few of those stories with you guys. And today I've got a really cool one. I think it's something a little bit more unique than what we've seen on here before. And it's from a gentleman by the name of David McGee. He shared a video here. He said, RC flying is a sport for all ages. At 78, I've been flying for about 2 years, still learning. The thing that I love about this so much is that it really goes to show that it's never, ever too late to start learning how to fly RC. And this is a perfect example of that. So I want to thank David for sharing that post, that video on iflyAMA, and hopefully inspiring some others who may be on the fence about, picking up their first transmitter, and maybe it's going to inspire them to do that.
You're never too old. You're right.
That's right.
Well, you say it's your favorite part of the show. It's more favorite for me because I have 2 iflyAMAs. So I don't know what's keeping you from picking more than one. Well, I didn't know if that was the rule, so I just put 2 up there. But I will just say the first one's just a shout out to my buddy Terry. He posted on the iflyAMA through our RC Roundtable podcast. He went on vacation to Maine. He's on this paddleboard and he's flying his little UMX Timber with floats. And it's really cool. I don't have one. My son has one. It's just right over there. And I know he loves his, but just look at that lake. I mean, look how it's glass, gorgeous, man. And he's straddling a paddleboard flying his little UMX Timber. And that's... And the funny thing is, if you look at the comments, a lot of people are going, how come you're like keeping your transmitter out in the open? You can tip over and the transmitters don't float. But I mean, you look at that and how much fun is that? So yeah.
It's just amazing. It's funny because I own a handful of UMX airplanes, and man, the way he shot this, it looks so cool because that does not look like a UMX airplane. That looks a lot bigger. So that's super cool. That's just an amazing, beautiful landscape that he's got there to fly on his vacation. That's amazing.
Well, you know, and I'm guessing he's got his little head cam on and doing that, but he's also tracking very well too. So I'm getting a little golf clap for my buddy Terry. It was a nice little fun video. And I will say, because we have 2 of these, one with floats and one with wheels, it is a really good plane. So if you can get your hands on one, nice planes. But like, that was the fun iflyama. What another one that really warmed my heart is this one from Kevin Garland. His club, the Tucson RC Club, he shared this photo where he took advantage of the AMA tag grant, which is take off and grow. And so they used their grant that they received to buy all the setup equipment that you see here. And I encourage you to, again, join the iflyama group on Facebook. Please make sure you answer all the questions. I will put you in that group and then let you see all these wonderful posts. There are so many. And another shout out to our buddy who's online right now, Joe Vermillion, who has this like little daily requirement. I know he wakes up and says, must post to iflyama, and he'll share a photo or two. And I'm not going to give him any shout outs. He's got enough stuff out there. But yes, I'm going to tell you guys though, too, if your club wants to do something like this with a takeoff and grow grant, you can go onto the AMA website, modelaircraft.org, and you can apply for one. So thank you guys. Thank you, Kevin, for showing that. That's just something that the AMA does for its members and community.
Absolutely. Very, very well said. And again, guys, if you want to and have not yet joined the iflyama Facebook group, head over to facebook.com/groups/iflyama to do that. We'd love to have you as part of our community and sharing with all this amazing content that is coming from you guys, our members. Yeah, that's right. And that's the best content as far as I'm concerned. So I'm excited every single day to see what new things get posted there. Something we also wanted to mention for you guys is the cover photo contest is running hot and heavy right now for the month of August. But Lee, there's something that's changed a little bit about the way Facebook handles their announcements. Do you want to let folks know what changes they can expect to see if they want to go enter to that contest?
Yeah, you know what? I'm going off script here, but I'm going to give a little shout out to anybody who's also a group manager or page manager on Facebook. We had this situation where Facebook changed where the announcements show up on our group page. They used to just be at the top and you could select through them and you'd see the entire post, but now they've structured it into like little thumbnails, and so you really can't see, and if you can see the screen right there, you can't really see the contest like you used to. So you can go to the top of the group page and click on announcements, and then you can see the entire page. And we encourage our members who are on Facebook to submit their photos for the cover contest. We always have a huge collection to choose from. And yes, Joe, you can submit again. I think Matt gave you the go ahead to enter again.
He is free to submit again. Yes.
and I am too. So I'm throwing my name in the hat. I'm going to just have a ghost name. But so I going back to the cover photo, we'd love for you guys to do it. You get your photo on the background image for iflyama. And if you would go to announcements, click on it. And the shout out is, if you guys know how to switch it back, I've been flibbing with it with Facebook and calling them and no luck. If you know how to switch it back, reach out to me. Go to our, you can send us a message on Facebook Messenger for the Academy of Model Aeronautics, and I will get you something. I will go digging in the shelves at AMA in Muncie. I'll have someone do the work for me, and I will give you something, because that's been driving me crazy. But again, cover photo contest, a lot of fun. Look at the current one. Isn't that awesome?
I'll tell you what, I saw an SR-71 in there when Dylan was scrolling through there, and that
you're going to vote twice.
Well, somebody knows how to get my vote real quick. I can tell you that. Yeah, guys, I encourage you to go submit. You'll find the best photo you've taken of an airplane and toss it in there as an entry, because
with a U2. Oh, it's Brett.
Oh,
curses. Hey, there's no likes right now. No. Oh, that's neat. That's neat. Look, I like
boy. I like to reserve my vote for the end, like toward the end of the contest, so that I get as many in there that I can judge off of as possible. And
here's Matt. Click.
Yeah, boy, I'm a sucker for an SR-71, guys. I'm just saying. I think that's an SR-71. It might have been the other one, but I'm assuming that's what it was. Yeah, and yeah. I can't read that, but oh yes, it is SR-71. Okay, sorry, my screen is a little small. I couldn't read that text. Mason Hutchinson just chimed in again.
Oh,
He said Terry Dunn makes fun content, and he's always amazed at the variety of aircraft he reviews. I agree. Terry Dunn makes some amazing content. Kudos to Terry for sure. I always love seeing the stuff that he puts out there. Okay, guys. Well, that wraps up our iFlyAMA segment of the show. Again, facebook.com/groups/iFlyAMA is the place to go if you want to join into that amazing community that we have going on there. It's a lot of fun, so much great content. Lee sees all that stuff every single day. I see that stuff every single day. It's so much good stuff there. You guys don't want to miss out. So that's where you go. Let's switch gears again. That's my catchphrase of the day, is switch gears. Oh, Dylan was on top of that one. Thank you.
Wait,
I don't know if I should
I'm waiting
be,
for the hashtag, but wait, there's more, because I'm sure he's got one saved for me in there.
I'm just trying to figure out if I should be excited that he was ready for that, or if I should be offended. I don't know. We mentioned earlier on in the show that we've got one more special guest to bring on to talk to today, and that is Tyler Dobbs. He is our Government Affairs Director, and he's going to join us here to talk a little bit about some this advisory circular that just released in the last couple of days that pertains to some CBO recognition, some night operations, and some other things. So, Tyler Dobbs, welcome to AMA Air, sir. Thank you for taking some time today.
Hey, thanks, Matt. Thanks, Lee. I appreciate you guys having me on. It's a great show today.
Thank you very much. So we appreciate that. So let's jump right in. This advisory circular 9157C. This is something that I know we've been talking about it for months now. It's something we've been waiting on for a while. Why don't you give folks a little bit of an overview of what this advisory circular is?
For sure. And like you mentioned, we have anticipated this release for well over a year now. A few days ago, the FAA finally did publish the draft, and we've had a chance to review it now and can kind of break it down a little bit. We've created a blog, which viewers can go to modelaircraft.org/gov, scroll past the remote ID stuff to the bottom, and there'll be a blog down there. And there'll be some additional information coming out in the coming days and weeks and months regarding this advisory circular. It's going to be found under AC 9157C, as in Charlie. It's going to replace the B version. 9157B is in Bravo. And really, it's going to have a lot of the same information in there. For the users, for AMA members, it's probably not going to change very much. There'll be a few tweaks here and there that they may have to do. But really what this does is it's centered around CBO recognition, which is something that AMA worked with Congress on back in 2018 to say, hey, we understand, since 2012, you've had this term community-based organization, and you have told recreational users that they need to operate within the programming and follow the safety rules of a community-based organization. But that's not very well defined. It was in a 2012 committee report, but really not in legislation. And so in 2018, with FAA reauthorization, we worked to get that definition put in place. And that advisory circular, this new one, gives that legislative definition. Organizations will need to meet 6 statutory requirements to be considered a community-based organization. Which will include some safety programming and some filings on what they need to be nonprofit organizations and so forth, and really gives those organizations a louder voice. When the recreational community finds themselves under new regulatory requirements or the FAA wants to change something, they need to now go to a community-based organization and include them in those changes. So that's a good thing for us. And this is something we've been wanting to see come out, and we look forward to continuing working with Congress and the FAA to tweak things as we move forward. Aside from CBO recognition, viewers will also see that they cleaned up the educational aspect of UAS usage. That's something AMA also worked with Congress on back in 2020. And on January 1st of this year, Congress passed the National Defense Authorization. And in that, they found that now educational use at university levels, JROTC programs at all branches of the military, and any educational programming within a chartered club of a community-based organization can now be done under recreational rules rather than going out and getting a Part 107 remote pilot certificate. So that was a big win for the educational community. Really, it allows users, especially users under the age of 16, to be able to practice and study UAS usage at their school, their university, or within their club, their AMA club. So
yeah, this has major STEM applications. I think that's something a lot of people who are involved in that go, wow, we really did protect those guys who want to just be educated about it, not have to go through the whole difficult procedure of getting a Part 107.
For sure. I'll touch on a few other things briefly. There's a section on night operations. Night operations are currently permitted in uncontrolled airspace, but they were kind of put to a halt in controlled airspace. You couldn't get LANC authorization at night, and letters of agreement didn't include night operations. This does have a process that will allow that, and we anticipate the FAA will soon start adding those to clubs' current letters of agreement in the coming months. We don't know what LANC authorization will be permitted for night operations, but it doesn't say that it's restricted. So we're pretty optimistic about that. And also, there'll be a tweak to sanctioned events. Majority of AMA sanctioned events probably won't change, but there will be a separate process through the FAA drone zone. If you are planning a sanctioned event that's maybe not at your regular fixed flying site, if you're having it maybe a one-time event at a reservoir or something like that, that's possibly in controlled airspace, or you need to go higher than the altitudes in the UAS facility maps, something out of the norm, I'll say, then there'll be a process that we'll have to go through for that. It also outlines trust, which is obviously something we've been sharing lately, the new recreational test that users are required through legislation to take. Obviously, AMA is a testing administrator, and you can find the website there, modelaircraft.org/trust. Go there, give them 10 minutes, and you'll pass that test relatively easy. There's no real tricks. You kind of go through it, and you may even learn a thing or two. So if you haven't already taken advantage of that opportunity, then to go to that link and go through the test.
And guys, something else that I want to keep you up to date on is Tyler and I are going to be sitting down for a podcast interview sometime over the next week or so, where we're going to go into much greater detail about this draft circular, so we can go as far into the weeds as you might want to go. We didn't want to necessarily dive too far into today, but we just want to give you kind of the brief overview. Tyler, there's also something else we wanted to let folks know about. If you're going to be attending AirVenture, you are actually going to be doing some speaking there. Is that right?
I will. So EAA invited me to co-host a forum on advocacy with their government team. So I'll be doing that. I think it's the opening day, Monday, the 26th. That'll be at 10 to 11:15 a.m. at Pavilion 1. And then I'll be doing a radio interview at 6 p.m. on EAA radio that evening. I'll finish up for just in time to be able to go out and do some flying, maybe with Lee or somebody.
Nice.
So that's great. I mean, what a great example of EAA that week. If you've been there, that airspace is some of the busiest in the world for that week. And for model aircraft and AMA to be able to operate in such close proximity, that's just an excellent example of what can be done when you do things safely. And I know Sean Elliott, my counterpart at EAA, and myself, we have used that advocating for model aviation dozens, hundreds of times. So it's an excellent example, and what a great time. So I look forward to being there and finish that up, and then I'll get back for the fun fly. So look forward to that.
Tyler, I just want to jump in and say you are one of the hardest working model aviation advocates I know. It's like every time I sit down and talk with you, we always talk fun, but then you also talk about the work that you're doing to try to keep this hobby free for all the recreational pilots. So thank you so much for presenting this information, and it's stuff I didn't know about, so I have to get my knowledge from you. So,
well, I appreciate that, but I have an excellent team that supports me here, and all the staff and our members who are constantly pinging their senators and reps and holding the FAA's feet to the fire. It is a multifaceted group that's working on this, and I appreciate everybody's support.
Well, I look forward to seeing you at EAA.
It is absolutely a real group effort, and we all appreciate the work that you and your team put into all of this stuff. Tyler, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day. And again, modelaircraft.org/gov is the place to go to stay up to date on all of the stuff. Keep that blog pretty updated with all this stuff, all the time as it's coming through. So that's the place to stay up to date. And as I mentioned earlier, Tyler and I are going to sit down for a podcast interview here over the next week or so to discuss this advisory circular 9157C in detail. And of course, you can go to modelaircraft.org/podcast to subscribe to that and be notified when that goes live. We'll keep you posted on that as well. So Tyler, thank you so much. And we'll let you get back to the work that you're doing today. And we appreciate you taking some time out to join us on the show.
I appreciate you guys having me on and look forward to that podcast. So thanks, everyone.
All right. So of course, Tyler mentioned that Trust is still up and running. You can go to modelaircraft.org/trust. If you have not yet taken that recreational UAS test, it is there for you to do that. We appreciate everybody that's gone through and worked through some of the hiccups that we had at launch. A lot more people showed up than we really expected. So we appreciate all you guys and all your patience as we work through some of those. But I think all that's worked out and it's nice and smooth for everybody now. So again, modelaircraft.org/trust to make sure you're up to date there.
I'm going to jump in real quick and just say we've had a couple of people reach out to us and ask online for assistance. So I've probably taken the trust test 6 times on our site, and I'm down to 5 minutes. I don't know if anybody's beaten my record yet. I think Kenny was at 10 minutes, and I beat Kenny a while back. But so I'm at 5 minutes now because I'm sitting there trying to help people understand how to print their certificate and so forth. We'll do our best to help you. We know we've had people who are using their smartphone to do it have more issues, and it's usually, again, a variety of the phone you're using and the browser you're using. And so we'll do our best. But, Randy told us earlier in the show that he's going to have a computer out, I think, at the Funfly to have Trust available for anybody who's attending the event. That is a great idea. And we talk about that, or we have talked about it either here or on our podcast, that if you're a club, you just wants to help your pilots get through it, because a lot of people just don't want to take it. But it's actually very simple to take. It guides you through it. Our site is functioning 100%. And if you just have a computer there and let people do it, they can get it done. You just need a laptop and a printer, and all your members in your club can be done in a day. That's how simple it is. So again, what a great offer for the Funfly.
Yeah, and I think that's a great tip for clubs out there if you want to host a trust night kind of a thing, where because I know for a lot of clubs they've got some folks that maybe they don't even have a computer. They don't that's not something that's part of their daily life. Well, here's an opportunity to as you can go to your club, have a whole event, a whole nightly event, that kind of thing, to go through and get everybody through the test. And it's a really, really great way to help your fellow club members out. I think that's a good idea. Yeah,
be the member who has a laptop and a desk jet they can, inkjet, whatever you want, to bring over Absolutely. Real quick and set it down. And while you're having your fun, your food, and talking about your club settings, just have it in the corner. And again, it's very simple. And another thing is, we encourage parents who need to help their children take this test, because then any person who flies a UA in the national airspace will be required to take this. You can sit down with your kids and walk them through it together. Mm-hmm. So don't feel like you have to shut them in a room and give them a number 2 pencil and a Scantron. This is something you can do together as a family.
And something else that I just got word on is that there's actually a trust study guide in the August issue of Model Aviation magazine. We didn't mention that earlier, but I'm glad I just got that note that there's a study guide in that issue. I think that's going to be awesome for folks to see. But as you mentioned, it's a pretty straightforward. You can't fail the thing, so it's there shouldn't be any anxiety going into it. But I hope you guys all have success in going out and checking that out. So the other thing we want to let folks know about is National Model Aviation Day. If you guys have not yet saved the date, now's the time, because it's coming up in just a month from yesterday. modelaviationday.com is where you want to go. August the 14th is officially Model Aviation Day. Lee just held up his shirt that he ordered, and he's gotten it already. So which is awesome. There's a great shot of it there. Unbelievable. I need to get one of those. I haven't gotten mine yet. I got to get that. August the 14th is the day. If you guys, there's still time to register your club's event if you're participating in Model Aviation Day. Again, you can go to modelaviationday.com and register your club's event. Or if you want to find an event in your area, you can do that as well. If you want to pick up one of those fancy shirts that Lee just showed, you can do that too. There's all sorts of fun stuff there on that website. Again, modelaviationday.com. It's coming up in just a month.
But wait, there's more.
By.
But wait, there's more.
There's more.
That's mine. I just want to say, I like my club. Unfortunately, I say unfortunately. Fortunately for them, they're running an IMAC event during Model. Thank you, Dylan. They're running an IMAC event that day. But not National Model Aviation Day is anywhere you want to fly. You know, go to another club, find out another friend who will invite you to their club, and we'll probably head out to Scobie, a big field here in Houston or Katy, Texas, and just, you know, I've got shirts for all my family, my sons. We're going to go out there. We'll take photos. So do me a favor, if you are at an AMA site and you are celebrating National Model Aviation Day, use the hashtag Model Aviation Day or hashtag AMA Model Aviation Day. I'd like to see all those people out there who are enjoying model aviation.
Agreed. I want to see all of that fun stuff. You know, we're getting back into the swing of things this year, and I'm excited to see all of the amazing, fun events that are going to be going on for Model Aviation Day this year. And so be sure to use those hashtags. Lee, that's about all we've got for today's show. I mean, what is there left to do? What should folks do if they want to keep up to date and learn more about what's going on?
Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, modelaircraft.org. You know, go to all our social media. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel here and click the bell and, you know, make it ring, whatever all those little they didn't have to do that. Just hit subscribe. But make sure you tune into AMA Air and listen to the AMA podcast. And you know what? Also ask questions. Join the conversation. You know, be active and let us know your thoughts.
Absolutely. And guys, if you're not yet a member of the AMA, we really encourage you to go to modelaircraft.org/join to find out all the amazing things that the AMA can do for you. And guys, if you happen to already be members of the AMA, we totally and really appreciate all the support that you guys give us. We love having you as part of our AMA family. And with that, we want to thank you guys for watching AMA Air today, and we hope to see you on the next episode. Until then, we'll see you guys later.